Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. So last time, Shiki and Arcuade, they were a little bit playing around I guess, and Shiki nearly bit him. And then yes, the church showed up, Mario and Noel. Afterwards, Mario told us about who the real enemy is, Roa, right, and how he operates. So that was pretty good. So anyways, let us continue. Let's see what happens today. I sprint through the city in a reckless search, but there's no sign of her. Without any leads, the town is way too big to find a single person in short notice. The only choice here is to narrow down my options. Arcuade stands out, so I should be able to spot her from a distance as long as we are in the same area. I've got to predict where she might go and take my chances. If Arcuade's anywhere, it's... Okay. Back at the school. I think we'll try back at the school first. I think this is the wrong one. Or this one. But yeah, let's try this one for back at the school. Definitely, or most likely her apartment, right? So we'll check this one first. After thinking on everything that's happened this evening, I decide to head for the school. Because yeah, why would Arcuade go to the school, right? There's no reason to. Arcuade was acting pretty strangely when we were here. As far as today's events are concerned, it's not so crazy to think she might have come back. There's nobody around at night, so if she's looking for solitude, she could do far worse. The courtyard is devoid of sound, let alone any sign of human company. Not a single light is on inside. This place is more cemetery than school. Honestly, school at night? Yeah, it's really scary though, right? If there's no people, because of how huge it is, and then no one is there. It's kind of creepy, kind of scary. Somehow, I simply know that something is inside. A strange scent reaches me on the wind, brushing against my skin and sending a chill down my spine. This isn't the time to hesitate. I slip inside using the same window I broke earlier. You gotta be careful here, sir. There's no one on the first floor. No one on the second floor. An anxious tingling scratches the back of my neck. I make my way to the second floor. There's no one. There's no one. There's no one here. And yet, I feel it. A slimy sensation against my back. Like you feel like something is looking at you, following you. Something cold yet smooth, like the belly of a snake. I spin around, but of course the hallway is empty. Oh my god, you saw that? A squelching noise. The next moment, an incision is made in my chest. Dude, that was very quick though, yeah. A river of blood flows as my old wound opens. Without warning, a knife was thrust through my back. I'm like a vampire impaled by a stake. That was so fast, instant death. My body slumps to the ground. I don't know what's going on, but in my last moments, as my consciousness fades, my mind transports me to a different place. And I look upon a scene from a summer long ago. Dude, that was so fast, I guess. Very fast. Dead end. They gave us like a tease, I guess, of Roa right there. He's kind of scary, yeah. If you look at Vlov and look at him, for him he looks like a wild one, a wild vampire, while Vlov looks like a noble. Yeah.
そろそろ突発死にも慣れてきた頃でしょうか。最善を尽くしたものの、あえなく死亡した遠野くんのための救済コーナー。教えて、シエル先生。今回も張り切って開始です。
CL Sensei is here to help.
と言ってもこれ、よくある死亡3択じゃん。1個前の選択肢に戻ってやり直すだけじゃん。救済コーナーっていうのは死ぬ前に助けてあげるもんじゃん。今更気づいちゃったんだけど、これメガネがどうやって即死するのかを見てあたしらが寸評するだけのコーナーでは。
そうですけど、それが何か？だいたい痛くなくては覚えませんよね。
スパルタ通り越したド S だった。
さて、今回の原因は夜の学校に遠野くん一人で入ってしまったことですね。頼れる先輩がいるでもなし、今のアルクエイドが無人の場所に行くはずもなし。一つ前の選択肢に戻って、もっと血生臭い場所を選ぶと良いでしょう。
今のって言った？シエル、あの完璧なヒロインが可愛いした理由知ってんの？
She said you gotta choose something more bloody.
スタミナ溢れそうだから慌てて家に帰ったとかじゃなく？
そう、私には何とも。まあ、自分が吸血鬼であることを自覚したんじゃないですか？今更ですけど。ほら、死者たちのガレージで暴れていた時から我慢できなくなっていたようですし。
マジかよ、そんな前から可愛いだったとか、もうシエルに勝ち目なくない？大丈夫？インド帰る？
インドは地元でも何でもありません。それより自分のルートだからってあまり調子に乗らないことですね。即死するのは即死が似合うキュートな遠野くんだけではありません。
今似合うって言った？
物語が続く以上、誰であれ退場する可能性はあります。アルクエイドも例外ではありませんよ。
ここから負ける可能性とかあるわけないじゃん。あとはこのまま感動のエンディングでしょ。こんなん生まれたばかりのミゲでも上がるし。
ほほう。では、もしそうならない場合があるとしたら。
にゃにゃにゃ、煮干し。いや、次のルートのヒロインの座をかけてもいいぜ。ちょっと待って、今なんか嫌な音しなかった？
現地も取りましたし、今回はこの辺で。
But I do honestly think, or I wanna see, like for example, if we go to the next route, this is Arcoade's route, right? And then if we do CL's route, who is gonna be in this one, right? Like this, for example, we get dead ends there. Is it still gonna be Miss CL? Would be funny if it's gonna be Miss Arcoade.
以上、さよなら、猫歩く先生のコーナーでした。
Yeah, we're gonna see something like Neko CL.
おい、やめろ、その笑顔怖い。貴様本当にヒロインか
？Okay, let's choose this. Her apartment. I should check her apartment. She might have given up on the hunt after this disaster of a night and just gone home to rest. A disaster. I ring her bell. There's no response, no matter how long I wait or how many times I ring. Don't you have a key for this room? I don't sense anything moving behind the door. She hasn't come home yet. That or she's refusing to come out. There's a moment of hesitation, but I erase it with a deep breath and take out my knife. Time to kill the lock. I apologize to Arcuade later. But before I make my cut, I try putting a hand on the doorknob. It opened though. The door wasn't even locked. It opens easily with a click.
アルクエド、いるのか?
There's no response. The bed is made up neatly. She did say she waited in the park all night, after which she came straight to the mansion to ambush me in the morning. Which means that she probably hasn't been back here in over a day. I strike the wall, then sprint out of the room as fast as I can. There's a point in scolding myself for my stupidity. If I have the time to vent my anger at the wall, I should put it to use, searching for her instead. So we just left, I guess. I make it to the area around the station, narrowing my eyes. I peer out at the blinding artificial lights and bustling crowds. All I've got to track her down is a hunch and my own 2 feet. My chances are staggering bad, but they aren't zero. I'll follow this line to track her down. What? You can use lines to follow someone now?
これが何の足しになるかわからないけど。
I mean, he's just straining himself, right? Arcuade doesn't possess the same abundance of death that other life forms do. In a world overflowing with death, she's the only respite from this repulsive lines. If I look out across the crowds, she should stand out as a regular unblemished beacon. It's not the most refined plan, but it's the best I have right now. Pain burst behind my eyes. I do my best to view everything in that detached general way without focusing on any one line too much. Arcuade told me this pain is caused by the burden that seeing death puts on the brain. My glasses can't stay off for too long.
やっぱり大通りにはいないな。
Everyone downtown has perfectly ordinary lines. There's not a single soul around that looks like the ones we hunted down before, with masses of graffiti crisscrossing their bodies. Jesus. I rub my temples to soothe the throbbing beneath my skin. My headache will only intensify if I keep my glasses off, but I have to hold out a little longer on the off chance she's somewhere on the main streets. It's fine. It'll be easier from here on out. Once I get to the alleys, there'll be fewer people and way fewer lines. I need to hurry for those darkened back streets. In a place where even the moonlight can't reach, it should be easy to spot her bright pale form. I mean, honestly, you don't know where Arcuade went. What if she just jumped and jumped and jumped right now? And then, yeah, for her to just get away. The exhaustion of running combined with my throbbing headache makes me want to hurl. When I wipe the sweat from my forehead, I notice how feverish I am. I can feel my temperature even with my own hand. I don't remember ever feeling this hot, not even when I had a near 40-degree fever.
でもここで
It's the only place I haven't checked yet. At the end of this road lies the alley where we had our first conversation. Also, this was the correct one. If she's not here, I'll have to admit my gut was off. A wave of cold hits me the moment I step into the alley. The chill that crawls down my spine is icy enough to cool my fever. I see something strange in the distance. sparks popping and crackling within the darkness. Or to be more precise, lines of death, thick globs of them thrumming and churning before they varnish or vanish into nothingness.
まさかあいつ
The intermingled lines of death belongs to zombies. The fact that they're appearing or they're disappearing can only be one thing.
あんな体で一人で戦ってるのか
Against my better judgment, I press on through the pain and exhaustion, all but forgetting the foreboding chill that hangs thick in the air. Pushing against the rusted iron door, I slip into the dark passage. I'm in the alley entrance. The buildings press in both sides. I wade through the lines as if traversing a muddled river. At least 100 lines were cut here tonight. But that doesn't make sense. I know this place. Dead or alive, there's no space for 100 zombies to fit here. That means the grisly scene before me can only be a single body dismembered into dozens of little pieces. It doesn't matter. I refuse to think about it. But what I can't bear is that with every step I take, the creaking and gnawing of bone rattles my ears. Instinct strokes my brain with saw-like teeth whispering, "Stop, don't go, turn back." That which awaits you at the end is not for your eyes to behold, it says. I know that already, but I won't go back. I won't abandon Arcuade. If I leave her now, I've got an awful hunting feeling that she'll die. It's a premonition I can't shake, so despite my better judgment, I press further in. I'm here. There's no traces of zombie flesh. Oh! My mind runs cold. My vision is consumed. An ocean of red liquid waste covers every surface. The remnants of zombies, now faceless, arms crushed to a pulp, insides completely mangled, violated, totally and needlessly. The thick stench of blood mingles with the cold still air, robbing me of my voice. Everything is red. The walls, the ground, perhaps even the moon's glow have taken on a crimson hue. Is she eating them though? A dull squelching noise echoes through the alley. No, look at Arcoade's hand. It's full of blood and she's putting it in her face. A creature, maybe the last of many, covered in thick heavy lines, dies at her hands. She crushes it without effort or mercy with a single hand like an ant. The zombie's head is grabbed by unseen hands and lifted into the air, where it dangles for a moment before an enormous pressure caves it inward, splattering the walls with blood and brains. I gaze upon this world where even the moonlight is crimson. At its center stands Arcuade. She hasn't noticed me. She's just staring at the moon, entranced, her breathing heavy and wild. Ooh. I can't call her. The creaking sensation in my spine reaches its climax. It's as if the saw finally cut through the bone. Snap. My consciousness is screaming. I cannot stay here. I don't want to die, it wails. But it's too late. In this world of red and white, I am an intruder. The woman in white turns. Look at Arcuade. Look at her eyes. Like a one-eyed demon, she shifts her terrible glare my way. That golden eye is blinding. Our eyes didn't meet, but I look into hers all the same. That alone was enough to make my blood rush to my head. Enough to erase all reason, all sense of self. The first thing I feel is pure survival instinct. You can't be here. You can't look at that. Don't make your presence known. Don't let them see you. You can't talk to them. You can't coexist. It's impossible. You can't fight it. You can't escape. You can't even pray. No matter what you do, you can no longer be saved. This creature is on a different level. Though the concept of levels is meaningless here, the difference between us is so vast, we may as well be on different planes of existence. It is more than me. It eclipses my being, which is why every one of my blood vessels dilates at once. It starts with fear. A bloodlust akin to rapture follows soon after. Like lightning flashing across a clear sky and the clearest conclusion in the history of mankind. My cells rejoice at the revelation on par with that of the most enlightened saints. It's simple. This thing shouldn't be allowed to exist. We have no need for it. So we must kill it. Kill it here. Kill it quickly. Kill it now. Be swept away by the pulsing river in your veins and expel that thing. My heart leaps. I know I couldn't win, yet every part of me rumbles and moans, urging me to kill her. This is all backwards. If I don't want to die, I should kill. Even though I'll be killed, I should kill? Is my head crammed with nothing but thoughts of murder? It's no use, my ego is gone. That I shouldn't look into that golden eye. There's nothing I can do. There's no way to escape her. My blood declares, boiling with every beat. It surges in a way I can hardly resist. But there's something else, something desperate to crush the desiccated husk of my rationality. Why do I want to kill? Is it because I don't want to die? So I need to kill before I'm killed. What a stupid thought. I'm going to die laughing at this rate. You don't need a reason. Be honest with yourself, Shikitono. Don't you remember what you did to that woman once upon a time? No, your rationality is what needs to shut up. It's reality, or really that simple, isn't it? I want her, I want Arcuade. I've craved her from the moment I saw her, so badly it made me want to puke. I want all of her. Her body and mind. Her tears and her saliva. Her blood, her flesh, her desire, her frustration. My breathing is abnormal. I'm losing consciousness. The golden pupil flickers, looking at her. I think that no matter how much I kill her, it'll never be enough. Her eyes are red again. But it's already too late. We're past the point of no return. A stifled cry enters my ears. Like I care, I grip my knife tighter and push the woman to the ground. It's easy, all strength has left her body. Straddling her, I return one hand around her throat. I raise the other high in the air, knife poised. There's just one thing left. striking a single blow into the space between her breasts.
落ち着いて四季。その目はもう使っちゃダメ。
I hear the woman's voice. The pulsing beat in my head boils. Shut up. My fingers tighten their grip around her neck. She throws her head back in pain. I struggle to believe it. She's normally brimming with strength, yet she can't even rid herself of my grip.
四季。
Still struggling for air, she gasps my name. My heart pounds, impelled by excitement in my blood. Each breath is wilder than the last. My vision is distorted. Every part of me feels like it's turned to lava. It's so hot, I want release. My body moves. Slowly, purposefully, I remove myself from her stomach, sliding downward. Spreading her legs, I sink my hips into the space between. Okay, what is happening? What is happening? Her eyes shimmer with anxiety. That gaze only makes my brain boil at a higher pitch. My vision is bloodshot. I feel like I might faint. Every cell in my body cheers with elation. This is what we were born for. If I don't blank this woman right now, I'll go insane. Her vermilion tinged cheeks, her neck so very soft. Nothing could surpass the form of the woman beneath me. I can feel her every motion. Her eyes are brilliant pools of gold that seem to suck in my soul. My arm leaves her neck. Its fingers trace her chest. They feel the softness of her body off her legs. When my fingertips meet the pale skin of her abdomen, I notice the warmth that lies beneath her flesh.
違うよ。こんなの四季じゃない。
Her voice trembles with heat. Her red eyes plead to me. With that, the last of my thoughts became unhinged. There's a soft gasp, a cry as if to stifle her shame. With both hands, she desperately tries to push me off, but I grab her wrist, pinning them to the ground so they can't move. If only I had nails to hammer them down with. With her hands like this, she looks like she belongs on a crucifix. Her eyes are filled with contempt, regret towards the man holding her down. The sight is intoxicating. She's even more alluring than she was before. I can't use both my arms. The second I let go, she'd no doubt sever my neck. The tension elicits a grin for me. I must be more beast than man. My urge to violate her is surpassed by my desire to see us kill each other.
やめて。やめないと後悔する。
Once more, my hand seizes her pretty pale throat. It's so pale, so pale. Only my mouth retains the freedom to move. I set my teeth to her chest.
四季、落ち着いて。
Her body is still resisting, convulses under his touch. He sighs. His breath traces her stomach. The tickle of warm air is enough to make her squirm. He moves aside her clothing and brings his tongue to her sensitive, snow-white abdomen. Dude, what is happening right now? Suddenly he recalls a hunger. That's right, his stomach is empty. He's always been hungry. Saliva falls as he drools with a never-sated appetite.
四季、
The woman pushes against him, but she's no match for the hunger. What are you waiting for? It was the same before. Back then, you were the main dish, but this time you get to dine. For all our differences, we are identical at our core. Her drinking your blood at the park, the stupid impulse, the burgers you had for lunch, it's all the same. We eat because we must. We eat because it's fun. We eat because we want to. We devour each other out of love. That's all this is. For us animals, that's all it needs to be. This resistance was inevitable. Her plump breast jiggled below me. The trembling mouth-watering canvas, the mark of a healthy woman. I sink my teeth in one of her... Oh my... She raised her voice. Her back arches with surprise. I don't pay it any mind. I know until it feels like I might rip through, stopping short so I can run my tongue across and savor her taste. Her body hits up. I no longer feel a trace of the cold that hung so thick in the air. She struggles to muffle her cries, perhaps embarrassed by the sound. There's pity in her voice. My mind blurs. I already abandoned all sanity and thought, but now it feels like my sense of self is getting more and more clouded. Her voice trembles with despair, but I don't hear it. I don't understand it. My knife rises higher and higher into the air. My vision is drowned by a bloody haze. The more conscious I grow of my urge to kill, the harder it becomes to stop myself from moving. A mournful voice. Her eyes are wet with tears. My head hurts. My instinct screams to keep going. My heart insists that if I stop now, I'm dead. That somewhere down the line, she'll gut me in my sleep. But she's crying. This woman who always smiles so brightly, so confidently, is crying. I can't believe it. I can't allow it. If it were me, I would never make you cry. My head hurts. It's screaming at me to run. The conflicting impulses mesh together. One last time, I ask myself what I want to do. We gotta save, okay? Let's say this one first. Simply want her, number 1. Okay, red. I'm a beast composed of pure desire. This beautiful creature, this wretched body, this maddening emotion. Just as I did before, I want to unleash everything within me and violate her. This is not a time to care for her well-being. A plague of surging blood awakens from within. A cranial cell inhibits all rationality. As long as its shape is still human logic applies. Break, bend, split and slice. Reap, peel, rend and tear. There's no end, no closure, nothing. The more I kill, the more I need. I finally remember. This is what I am, what I've always been. I just wasn't in the right place before. Automatically, organically, I repeat and repeat and repeat. I'll forget my humanity until 7 nights have passed. Okay, dude, that was insane, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, thank God they didn't show anything. I thought they were actually gonna show like some NSFW scenes, right? I was like, oh my God, but then they did not. Because yeah, the other, I guess, let's say original or OG like Fate Stay Night visual novels, right? If I'm correct, those has like scenes like that, right? Like sex scenes and whatever. I rise from a sea of blood. Does Tsukihime have that in the original, at least the original visual novel? It goes to show how extraordinary she was. I disassembled a single creature, but the entire alley is splattered with blood and guts. The monotonous crimson hurts my eyes. The ground is sticky yet slippery, making it hard to walk. The air reeks of blood. My headache subsides. I've thrown away my sense of self. Even as I turn my heel to head home, I realize I've long since lost my place to return to. Oh, the panther.
Ah, お前か。
Come to think of it, this is where we met last time too. Is this coincidence, or are you just finishing what you started? Creation is such a finely crafted thing. Its wild fangs are bared and aimed at my throat. The sound of wriggling, squelching flesh echoes behind my back. To my front stands the panther, and to my back lies something unspeakable. Ultimately, the demon regenerating behind me isn't something that can be killed by human hands.
まったく。下手だね。どうも。
Shrugging, I offer up my throat. A ringing noise explodes from within. Then Shiki died. It's osteophony, the conduction of sound through bone, as the beast's jaw crunches the vertebrae in my neck. The noise bursts upward through my narrow cranium. So he got killed by the panther. I try to impart my final words, but without a throat, there's no way for me to speak. What did I yearn for? What did I love? What did I fear? These questions don't matter to an inhuman bastard. To a fool who'd forgotten everything from the start, at least my death is practically instant, sparing me from a fate gruesome behind or beyond comprehension. There's nothing left to think about now. Though I would have liked to express my gratitude to the panther that came all the way here just to finish me off. Dead end again. Okay. Honestly, who is that panther though? I think did we see the panther in the mansion back then? I don't remember, man. There's a lot of things happening in this game. I forget sometimes. Like we jump from place to place, we get dead ends, right? So it's kind of confusing sometimes. Oh, it's did she die as well?
デッドエンドを迎えるのは主人公だけではない。ヒロインだって容赦なくエンドする。 まさに公平な物語ですね。というわけで。あえなく2度目の解体エンドを迎えたヒロインにコメントをいただきましょう。はい、アルケイドさんどうぞ。そしてジルートのヒロイン降板おめでとうございます。
Oh, it's actually her. Different one.
品のない家庭教師ですね。それでも原理結界の保持者の自覚はあるのですか？
どちら様でしょう。あの猫っぽい生き物はどこに？アルクエイドの代理なんですよね、あれ。
失望しました。呪いだけじゃなく知性も低いのですね。
But this is definitely Arcuade though, but I guess a different one?
あの生物は彼女の分身でもなければ使い魔でもありません。ただの揺らぎ、都市伝説として誤認され一人歩きをしだしたジャーゴンに過ぎない。彼女の末路に意見を求めるのならあの生物より適任がいるでしょう。言うまでもなく私のことですが、何しろ他人ではありませんので。
まさかさっきまでいた猫のような生き物はこのコーナーにおけるアルクエイドではなく。
はい、このコーナーにおけるアルクエイド・ブリュンスタッドは私です。あなたのような未来のイメージでの出演には多大なコストがかかるので、このようにコストを最小限に抑えた過去のイメージにしています。そうですね。
So they're saving money and I guess what do you call that? The art, right? That's why the other one is drawn like that. Is that it?
エコなアルクエイドですからエコアルクとでも呼んでいただければ。
Echo Arc. A budget-friendly Arcuade.
エコアルクではあの猫型生物はもう現れないんですか？やったー！
We got Neko Arc, we got Echo Arc.
そこはがっかりしてください。基本的に私はめったに出てきません。この後もこの先も未来永劫シエル先生の相手はあの生物です。
はあ、そうですか。地獄のような未来宣告ありがとうございます。でもそれならどうして今回はエコアルクさんなのでしょう。やっぱり遠野くんへの人出なしっぷりに抗議の一つでも？
そうですね。私でさえ目を覆うほどの結末だったのでつい。欲望に負けたばかりか壊れた後の自分の始末もできないなんて。こうして出てきた今も軽蔑を抑えきれません。怒り浸透。いいえ、怒りを通り越して哀れです。なのでシエル先生、お願いがあります。
はい、何でしょう改まって。
もしあれと戦うことになったのならどうぞ容赦のない鉄槌を。一度徹底的に痛い目に遭わなければ淑女にはなれないようですから。
言われなくてもアルクエイド相手に手加減なんかしませんけど。あれ、もしかしてエコアルクさんが怒っている相手というのは。
それでは私はこれで。これからも彼をよろしくお願いします。
She didn't even say it, she just implied it, I guess.
あなたも頼りない家庭教師ですが棚くらいには信用していますから。
どういうこと？
遅刻遅刻。
Okay, Neko Arc is back.
猫、光の速度でただいま参上。 そう、光の速度なので寝坊した自分を追い越し、遅刻という事実は打ち消されたので言い訳はしない。おはようシエル君、今朝もサブヒロインっぽくて結構ところで今ここに私が来なかった？なんかそんな気がするんだよね。具体的に言うとすっごい美少女な私。
その条件に該当する方は来ていませんね。それより遅刻の罰は何がいいですか？筧、又崎、引き車、アイアンメイデン。各種取り揃えていますので、リクエストをどうぞ。あ、やっぱり本編のアルクエイド同様、切り刻まれたのブレイドがお好みですか？
聞いたことのない単語を持ち出すのをやめろ。デッドエンドはメガネ君だけにして。
That's a big. What was that? A spear? Sword?
うわ、本気だよこのインド。遅刻しただけで処刑とか、ついに本性を表したか。
いえいえ、私も本意ではないんですけど、ちょっと頼まれてしまったので。次期物語もクライマックスのようですし、ここで主役交代しておこうかなと。
やめろ、改造ベジでもここまでしねえ。癖になったらどうする気にゃんですか。
Can't despise her this time around. I can't do it. I can't make her cry again. Last time my headache made me feel this way, I killed her. So no, not again. Remember the arcade. Remember the smiling arcade. Even it burns my brain to cinders, I won't defile arcade. I pull away from arcade. The headache dissipates and my heartbeat returns to normal. The clouds of violence clear from my mind, granting me a full realization of what I was doing.
なんてことを。
I can hardly believe myself, but the memory is all too clear. I push Arcuate against the ground. I tightened my hand around her neck and I was on the verge of running my knife through her body. And I'd sought out her flesh, like a beast. What do I say to this? Arcuate readjusts her clothes as she gets back up on her feet. How can I even start apologizing? Sorry isn't going to cut it. I did something deplorable, evil.
アルクエイド。
気にしないで。謝らなくちゃいけないのは私の方なんだから。
Honestly, it's kind of weird though, right? Like, Shiki always has this weird instances that he would do this. Like, it's uncontrollable is what I'm saying. So what is in, I guess, their bloodline though? Right? That makes him does this. Like, it's a bloodlust. Basically, he can't control himself. And he just kills. No, she's wrong. This was my fault. Who gives a shit about chronic anemia or never-ending dizziness? Neither of them matter. It's not like this is not the Mystic Eyes' problem. It's more on, I guess, Shiki's bloodline, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why is he doing this to Arcuade? Is she because of vampire or what? None of this would have happened if I weren't so effed up.
シキは私の魔眼を見てしまった。抑えることなんてできるはずがない。吸血鬼の目は未了の魔眼だと言ったでしょ。見た人間の気持ちに関係なく、自分の虜にする呪い。だから気にしないで。シキが私に性的欲求を感じたのもその一環。直視の魔眼があっても、 あなたは所詮人間だから。
Arcuade coolly clears me all of responsibility. But I can't accept that. It's true that I went crazy the second I saw those golden eyes. That was nothing more than the trigger that set me off though. It doesn't change the fact that in that moment I truly from the bottom of my heart wanted to.
身勝手な勘違いはしないで。私、さっきは正気じゃなかったの。どうしようもなく乾いてて、自分じゃ解決できなかった。だから死者たちを見つけて発散した。あなたはそれに巻き込まれただけ。あなたの心とは関係なく、あなたの体を操ってしまった。
Is it actually though?
公園でのことだって。あと少しで私は式を台無しにするところだった。
Or is she just saying this so Shiki doesn't feel bad? Pained silence overtakes her as she bites her lips. Though she doesn't speak a single word, I hear her apology clearly. Just seeing her so repentant is making my heart ache. It didn't feel like I was being controlled. If anything, it felt like my true desires had been unleashed, like my mind was just following their lead.
アルクエイド、俺は。
謝らないで。シキ、これは事故よ。私も忘れるから、あなたも忘れて。そうした方が、お互いのためになるわ。
Arcuade whispers those words before quietly walking away.
あれ。
Her name catches in my throat, and though I want to reach out my hand to stop her, it refuses to move.
怖い思いをさせて、ごめんなさい。さよなら式。私たち、もう会わない方がいいよね。
And like that, she disappears from the dark alleyway. The last thing I saw was her forced smile. Then she turned and leaped like a rabbit on the moon.
なんで。
Even if I gave chase, I'd never catch up. It's not like I'd have a way to stop her even if I did.
なんで。お前が謝るんだよ。
Self-hatred and remorse gouge at my heart until there's nothing left. In the alley, the stage for this unspeakable tragedy, I gave up at the white moon as if to repent. Blood Red Moon, number 2. We're back home yet again. But yeah, honestly, okay, let's take a break here. But I think the next episodes are gonna be Shiki just trying to look for Arcuade for sure. Yeah, as she said, it's better if we not meet again ever again, right? So it's probably gonna be like that. He's gonna try and find her, and then instead of finding her, yeah, we're probably gonna be seeing Roa for sure. It's gonna be something like that. I can feel it. But yeah, that was just insane though. I didn't expect Shiki to be doing that to Arcuade there. Like, I thought he was just like killer, but actually doing that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how different this route is gonna be to the other route, right? So this is the Arcuade route, and then when CL's route, I wonder how big of a difference it's gonna be. Because yeah, for this one it's Arcuade, and I think for Shiki, he has something in his blood that makes him go berserk. Maybe against vampires or whatever. But then again, he not all the time, but I guess when his emotions gets too high or whatever, yeah, he does that stuff, right? So very, very curious how the other arc or other route, I mean, is gonna work out. But anyways, we're gonna concede this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.